For over 50 years, Athens, Georgia's sports scene wasn't just about football. Over on the west side, just a 10-minute drive from the University of Georgia's famous Sanford Stadium, sat another local sports cathedral. One built for speed and power, a place where man, machine, and dirt collided multiple times a week, creating a recipe for victory, defeat, and the delight of fans throughout the area. One that 30 years after its last checkered flag is surrendering itself back to Mother Nature. This is the story of Athens Speedway, one of the great lost racetracks of Georgia.
Athens, Georgia is known for a lot of things. It's known for the University of Georgia. It's known for UGA football. It's a big music town, REM, the B-52s. But what a lot of people might not understand, might not know, is that for the better part of 30 years, it was also a racing town. In what happened at this little dirt track here, the Athens Speedway.
I mean, it's hard to believe, like, not even 30 years ago, this was like a pretty happening racetrack.
Yeah, which has not seen any action, as you can tell, for, 32 years, something like that. A little longer, I guess, now. The track was built in 1959 by a guy by the name of Bill Cooley.
Same year as Daytona.
Yeah, good point. Was supposed to open in September of that year, but they had something like 4 or 5 rainouts. So the first race did not get run here until November of 1959. It was won by Tootle Estes.
I'm sorry, would you say Tootle?
Tootle Estes, one of the most famous short track racers in the Southeast, from Tennessee, but did a lot of racing in Georgia, member of the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame. That just kind of lit the fire, and so this was one of the places to come. Buck Simmons raced here, Freddie Fryer, Charlie Paget, one of the heroes, Charlie Burkhalter, Charlie Mincy. We were big on Charlies for some reason.
Yeah.
And this track quickly established itself as one of the favorites because in Georgia, at that point in time, you didn't have a lot of outside entertainment, shall we say. Television was still kind of in its infancy. There was no baseball. So you went racing. And the thing is, you raced 5 and 6 days out of the week.
Not just a weekend.
No, you'd run one night at Athens, and then you'd go to Banks County over in Baldwin, and then go up to Toccoa. And of course, every Sunday you're at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta.
So it's clear that, nature is really taking this place back, but, if you look around, you can still see, like, this was very much still a racetrack. Like, the evidence is all still here. Where are we right now?
Right now we are standing roughly in the middle of the front stretch. You've got the inside wall still standing here. The outside wall on this portion of the racetrack has fallen. You can see where it is still there a little over in this area. Grandstands up here. The flag stand would have been, I don't know, right in this area.
Yeah.
Hey, check it out. Here we found the start-finish line for sure. Here are the steps.
Oh, where you come
down to the track. Yeah, watch out now.
Yeah. Man, some of these trees are
look at
really
this.
mature.
You can see when they dug the clay out here, how far down it came, because it looks like the paint comes to about here.
Yeah.
And look how far down they dug, because you can see
like
the bottom where they actually poured the concrete.
I mean, that's like a foot
I
and
mean,
a
they
half,
dug this thing out. But there's your red walls again.
Yeah.
And you can see where this wall has fallen down, and yeah,
Right.
it's
I mean,
it's right here. You can kind of see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. Here's the retaining wall, but the steps are still here. So this is where the flag stand would have been. So
oh yeah, you can see the post from the old.
yes, you can. How about that?
Yeah.
Well, why don't let's go up the steps?
All right.
Who knows?
It's a little steep there.
Oh, it is. This is unique too. Look how far back the stands were
So that is the
from the fence.
That is the first row of the
It looks
grandstand.
like it. Yeah.
Wow. So like you really didn't have much worry of something getting
No.
out of hand from the racetrack.
No.
You know, you're really down here in a hole.
Yeah, it's not like a lot of those tracks, you know, you go to some of the tracks and some of them are still there and you're right on top of the track.
All right. Coming down the front straightaway here, you can see the end of the front stretch grandstand.
Yep.
This must be where they were firing it off in the turn one.
Yeah, I would think right about here because this is pit out, this is
Right.
pit exit, so you're probably throwing it sideways right here. And there's the beginning again of the inside wall.
It seems like a pretty wide racing surface.
Yeah,
how
it does.
Big, how big was this track?
Well, when the track was built by Bill Cooley in '59, he built it originally as a 1/4 mile.
Okay.
And a few years later, when it went under new ownership, they decided to expand it to 3/8 of a mile. For a dirt track, 3/8 was the sweet spot.
Yeah.
You know, 1/4 mile is good, but 3/8 is just about perfect. 1/2 mile for a dirt track is really, really pushing it because it's very hard on equipment.
Right.
And that's something you don't want to have is week after week your guys burning up their equipment because it becomes expensive and you don't have as good a car count after a while.
That makes sense.
Bill Cooley did run some Tuesday night shows out here.
Oh, wow.
And that I think was kind of unique.
That could have been a snake.
That
could have been a snake. I'm just saying that could have like.
But it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a tree.
We are
It was a
cheating
twig.
death. Don't you forget it.
It looks like we've maybe got portions of the wall that has been pushed in.
Right. And then it looks like you got a big old pile of debris back there.
I would say, you know, we'll probably have over there the remains of one of the infield buildings.
Oh man, should we check it out?
Let's go have a look at it.
Okay.
I wonder if this wasn't the weight house,
Oh,
you know, where they would roll the cars through. You know, and we wouldn't have been here in the 60s, obviously, but, you know, in the 80s and 90s, you've got to weigh the cars before they go on the track route. So this might have been the tech shed here.
All right, so we got to be coming out here, what, about turn 2?
Yeah, well, it looks like we're right at maybe the apex of turn 2.
Yeah.
And right here you would have had, you know, the trucks, the haulers, if you will, mostly pickup trucks with an open air hauler. You know, pulled up here and they'd have the cars pulled off down here and they'd be working on them. Or you might have a couple of folks who parked here against the wall and they're standing up in the back of their trucks having a cold beer and watching the races. Where would you have been?
Oh, I know where I'd be.
Yeah.
Probably in the back of that truck having a cold beer.
Absolutely.
Kind of amazing that this has only been sitting here for 29 years. Because, I mean, this feels like you take the concrete out of it and it feels like we're just in the middle of the woods.
Yeah. You and I know what we're looking for. And you see, you know, just not just the wall, but you can see, especially here, where the track was.
Yeah. Oh, now look at this. This is pretty cool.
What do we got there?
So you can still like see some of the billboard here on the wall.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you
Like-
can make it out pretty well.
Highway
Let's have a look here.
78 looks like maybe an auto parts store.
Yeah, you've got the word parts pretty clear right here.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can't,
in Lexington.
Lexington, Georgia.
Yeah.
Highway 78 East. How cool is it to come out here, still got your red on your walls, and see where these were painted. And these were, you know, the local guys
Right.
that helped the racetrack be able to function. You know, they didn't have Winston here. This wasn't a NASCAR sanctioned dirt track. It wasn't a Winston track.
Right.
They depended on these local sponsors to help keep the track afloat and keep racing every Saturday night. So this was very important. It's very cool, almost like a testament to the support these folks put into this racetrack, that it's still here.
Oh, you got another opening up.
Yeah, that's going to be the back gate. So, you know, the cars coming in on a Saturday night, the trucks would come in, pull in the cars. They'd come right around through this back gate and right over into the pit. So this was the hot spot right here. You had people coming in and out, you know, all leading up to the night's racing. We're in turn 4 here, Joe, and what's cool is you look at the outside wall and you can still see a lot of the dirt, a lot of the clay that was slung up as they came off the turn, you know, onto that wall. It's still there.
So the last race here was when, what, 1992?
92. Mm-hmm.
What contributed to this place closing?
the roadway, believe it or not. There's a road right up here that when the track was built, it was a good distance away from the track. Well, they decided to move the road because you had a lot of housing in this area, several businesses, and the county decided to move the road.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the road moved right through the parking lot for the racetrack.
Oh, that's no good.
So there was a gentleman in South Carolina who had seen the property, been down here to the races, and he got the idea that, look, if I buy the property and I go over here off of the second turn and I clear that land, I can put a parking lot over there and cut a new driveway so people could come in off the road, park off turn 2, and then walk around turns 1 and 2 up into the grandstands.
Problem solved.
Absolutely, and the track can continue.
Okay.
So they do everything they've got to do. The sale goes through, and the gentleman from South Carolina comes down in February of '93, I think it was, to go ahead and take a look at everything, start marking things out, and make his plans. Well, he gets down here, and it suddenly dawns on him that something's not right. The flag stand is gone. The catch fence is gone. The poles for the catch fence is gone. The scoreboard, gone. Everything is gone. The PA system is gone. The microphones are gone.
What on earth?
It's all gone. And what had happened was, R had come back down.
The guy who owned it.
The guy who had sold it to him.
Okay.
That's what I said, we're calling him R. Had come back down, and he had taken all of this stuff out, and he took it up to the Hartwell Speedway, just outside of Hartwell, Georgia, and put it all there. I guess his idea was, well, I sold you the land, but I didn't sell you the amenities. So the South Carolina guy is mad as he can be, takes him to court, sues to get his money back. He gets his money back. R gets the property back. So R comes back down here, digs up the clay, and he takes the clay to Hartwell Speedway. Athens Speedway was transplanted to Hartwell, Georgia.
Also a 3/8 mile track.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to see Athens Speedway, go to Hartwell. It's all there.
Like still today.
Today.
So the owner of the land takes everything to Hartwell, and this place is left to rot.
Yep.
I mean, do you think this place had a future if everything went according to plan?
Not for more than a few years, to be honest. I mean, let's face it, when this place was built, this was the sticks, this was the boonies.
Right.
And over the years, of course, Athens has grown and it's spread. And so it really would have been living on borrowed time. But as it is, here we are going on 30 years later, and so many people that are here in Athens have no idea that this was ever here.
Right. Just hiding in plain sight.
That's it.
I mean, sitting here in this grandstand looking out at this rather mature forest now, it doesn't feel like this place has a lot of years left of even being recognizable.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything that can be done out here?
Yeah, I do. You know, clear all the trees away and put in a velodrome. Like they have at Asheville, Weaver. Yeah, like they have at Asheville, Weaverville. Athens is a big bicycle town.
You're right. I mean, twilight every spring.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so you put in a velodrome in the footprint of the racetrack, but at the bottom you have a walking track.
Okay.
You could put a play area for kids in the infield. You could put, walking paths all back through here. And this could be a very unique park for the city of Athens. Now, take a lot of work to do it. I'm not being a Pollyanna about this.
Right. The math is fuzzy.
The math is fuzzy, but if it's something that the owner of the property wanted to do, if it's something that the city and the county wanted to do, and most importantly, I think, if the people that always supported this track, there is still a huge loyal fan base to this racetrack and very vocal too, then they could come out here as volunteers and work with the city, work with the county, and make that happen. I could see the community getting behind it. I could see the businesses getting behind it. I could see Athens, Clark County getting behind it, you know, but it would take everybody getting on the same page to make it happen.
Right.
And I would love to see that happen and preserve this very unique piece of history in the classic city.
You know, me too.